In this video, I'll show you how to work efficiently with Vollmer documents. We'll go through user setup, key settings, and step-by-step document creation. Clearly structured, practical, and easy to follow. To get started with Vollmer documents, you'll first need a user account. From the main menu, I click on Start, and then select the button at the top of the screen. This opens the user login window, where I can view all existing users and create new ones. To add a new user, I click on Create and fill out all the required fields. One important field is Department. This helps later with organizing and assigning users. After entering all the information, I save the new user. The account now appears in the list. To log in, I simply select the user and click Login. If needed, I can edit existing user details or permanently delete a user. But be careful, if I delete a user, all data associated with that account will be lost and cannot be recovered. Part 2, Settings and Profile Management. To access the settings, I click the Option button. On the left-hand side, I see several categories: General, User, Updates, Paths, and Info. Let's start with the general settings. Here, I can define the date format and choose between metric or imperial units. I can also enter placeholder information for a phone number and email address. One of the most important areas here is the storage behavior. By default, Vollmer Documents saves all changes temporarily in your computer's memory. That makes the tool fast. But there's a risk. If the power goes out or the software is closed unexpectedly, any unsaved changes will be lost. To prevent this, I go to the section Database Synchronization and choose between two options. I can either save changes only when the menu is closed, or I can save immediately every time important data changes. The second option is more secure, but it may slightly increase loading times. Below that, I find checkboxes for additional settings. These are optional and can be customized to suit how I like to work. Next, I move to the User section. Here, I can define default folder paths for each document type. These are used for operations like saving a document, selecting an image, choosing an attachment, or importing files. I can also decide whether to always use the same path or to have the tool remember the last one used. At the bottom of this section, I can set how the file name for saved documents is generated. By using buttons, I can add building blocks like the current date, time, or document-specific labels, such as the customer name or document title. In the Updates section, I can enable or disable the automatic check for updates and publications when the software starts. I can also change the paths to those files if needed. The Path section provides a clear overview of all directories used by Vollmer Documents. And finally, under Info, I can view the current version of the software and see what's changed in recent updates. That keeps me informed and up to date. Now let's take a look at how I create and manage documents. When I start a new document, the document generator opens. Its structure is always the same, no matter what type of document I'm working with. Only the section content area changes depending on the type. The generator is divided into several parts: Profile, Sections, Documents, Section Content, Document Settings, Generator Settings, and the additional area. This structure helps me work through my tasks in a clear and logical way. Let's begin with the Profile section. Any information I enter here can be saved as a profile for future use. That's especially helpful when I work with similar documents again and again. When I click on the Profiles button, I open the Profile Management area. Here, I can load existing profiles, duplicate or delete them, or create a completely new one. Although a profile name isn't required to create a document, it's needed if I want to save my work. By clicking Save Profile, I store all current entries under the selected name. The icon next to that button lets me save all data directly to the hard drive. No need to close the menu. And if I suddenly need to pause my work, I click on Interrupt Work. This saves everything in a special profile called Interrupted Work and automatically closes the software. This profile exists only once. I can't duplicate or modify it, but I can delete it later if I want. Part 3. Working with sections and documents. Every document in Volmar Documents is made up of multiple sections. These sections are displayed as tabs and can be selected individually. When I create a new document, it starts with just one main section, but I can add as many sections as I need, duplicate them, reorder them, or delete them again. The available section types depend on the document type I'm working with. In all sections, except the main one, I have a few additional options. I can decide whether a section should be included in the final output or not. If I mark a section as internal, it will only appear in the internal version of the document. With the option Separate from Previous Section, I decide whether the section starts on a new page or just a new line. Within one profile, I can manage multiple documents, even of different types. Each document is numbered and shown in the upper area of the screen. The buttons at the bottom let me add new documents, duplicate the current one, or import an existing document that was previously created in Volmar Documents. When I import a document, all sections and inputs are restored, but images must be added again manually. Using the Convert function, I can change a document to another type. Any sections or entries that don't match the new type will be removed automatically. If I mark a document with an asterisk, it becomes protected from deletion. Unmarked documents can be permanently deleted if needed. Let's now look at how to fill out section content. Most input fields are intuitive and easy to understand. When I insert an image, I can rotate it in 90-degree steps. If needed, I can assign a different image for each document language by switching the input language. A larger preview of the image can be opened with the button in the upper right corner of the image field. In the Notes and Images section, I can also choose a layout. Using the greater than and less than buttons, I open and close layout options. Each field can be set to contain either text or an image. The Attachments section gives an overview of additional files or items, such as finished work pieces, that are related to this document. Important: these attachments are not included in the final exported document. If needed, I can also select different attachments for each language version. In the Document Requirements section, I choose which details should be shown in the final output. A drop-down menu offers a set of predefined options, which I can then adjust manually. There's one special case to note. If I import an accompanying document that contains a Document Requirements section, this section will not appear as a tab. Instead, after converting the document type, the requirements are shown in the additional area on the right. Part 4. Fine-tuning and additional features. In the Document Settings section, I define what information will be included in the final document. At the bottom of the page, the name, phone number, and email address of the contact person for sales or application engineering are automatically displayed. To manage these contacts, I use the Edit Contacts button. This opens a dialog where I can create, edit, or delete contact persons for both areas. The currently logged in user is also shown in the list and is selected by default. In this same section, I can also define the output date, language, format, and unit of measurement for the document. Changing the unit only updates the label. No automatic conversion of values takes place. Now let's take a look at the generator settings. This section helps me tailor how the document generator behaves. For example, I can turn off the automatic image preview. This is useful when working with large documents that contain many images, because it speeds up switching between sections. I can still open full-size previews manually. I can also change the input language here. This doesn't affect the interface language of the tool, but it does determine how content like text, images, and attachments is handled in multilingual documents. This allows me to assign different content for each language version. If I want to simplify the workspace, I can show or hide the additional area on the right side of the screen. There are also two sorting options. I can automatically sort the sections in the active document, or I can sort the sections in all documents based on a default order. This order can be defined or updated when new data is published by the TTC in Biberach. The additional area itself provides multiple functions. First, it supports translations for certain text fields. This means I can view and edit the same content in 2 languages at the same time. Second, it shows the document requirements after I've imported a document, especially when these are not visible as a separate section. This is common with accompanying documents. And finally, there's a special function within accompanying documents. I can use this area to open the checklist path provided by the TTC in Biberach. These checklists help sales collect all the technical information needed from the customer. They are an important tool for preparing the project for the application engineering team. Now let's move on to how we pause and resume our work, and how to adjust list entries if needed. In the main menu, I go to Continue Work. Here, I can load previously saved profiles or select documents to import. This makes it easy to return to a project at any time without losing progress. And here's a helpful tip. If something is missing in the predefined lists, such as a machine type or a workpiece changer, I can simply request it from the TTC in Biberach. Most entries are added within just a few minutes and are then available for immediate use. That brings us to the end of this training session. That was your quick start with Volmar documents. Now you know how to work smarter and stay in control. Good luck, and see you next time.